Silent battlefields, where historic photos whisper the untold stories of war and human memory. World War II, lasting from 1939 to 1945, was the deadliest conflict in human history. Nations clashed across Europe, Asia, and beyond, leaving behind destruction, courage, and tragedy. It reshaped borders, toppled empires, and forever changed the course of humanity, reminding us of war's heavy cost and fragile peace. Battle of the Bulge. This was the last major German offensive on the Western Front, named after the forested region of Belgium, France, and Luxembourg. Despite taking the Allies by surprise, the Nazis were ultimately defeated. The battle resulted in 186,369 casualties. With approximately 840,000 soldiers involved, it was the largest battle the U.S. Army participated in during World War II. The photo, taken at the height of World War II after the German invasion of Paris, shows Adolf Hitler and his entourage surveying the foot of the Eiffel Tower, becoming one of the most iconic images. This is the shocking image of the death of the last Jew in Vinnytsia, Ukraine, killed by the Nazis. This is arguably one of the most famous images of World War II. It shows a frightened boy during a sweep of the Warsaw Ghetto, where thousands of Jews were fleeing Nazi Germany in 1943. The photo was taken by one of the greatest photographers of all time, taken on Omaha Beach in Normandy, France. It was D-Day, June 6, 1944, when the Allied forces landed against Nazi Germany. The photo, titled "The Kiss," was taken in 1945 in Times Square. This was the moment Americans heard the news that Japan had officially surrendered to the United States, ending World War II. People poured into the streets to celebrate the victory. In 1945, a Soviet Red Army soldier raised the hammer and sickle flag over the Reichstag building in Berlin, marking the fall of Nazi Germany. This photo shows U.S. Marines raising the flag atop Mount Suribachi during the Battle of Iwo Jima, February 23, 1945. Two of the soldiers in the photo died in battle. Shocking images of the moment an atomic bomb exploded on August 6, 1945 in Hiroshima. The mushroom cloud shows the devastating impact of the second atomic bomb dropped on Japan, killing and injuring a total of 150,000 people. This is the first computer system launched in February 1946. The computer room area is 170 square meters. The total weight of the machine is 30 tons, with a cost of $480,000 US. In the photo, Admiral David Beatty, the famous commander of the Royal Navy, appears in a dignified uniform, hands in coat pockets, sharp eyes, and a calm but firm demeanor. It was this man who led the British battlecruiser force into the Battle of Jutland in 1916, the largest naval battle of World War I. Stretcher bearers carry a wounded man through the mud at Passchendaele, August 1917. Military doctors in World War I were unable to relieve the pain of soldiers who had lost limbs. Bodies of American soldiers killed in Italy. Prisoners of war behind the fence of a Nazi concentration camp. Bodies of German soldiers on the street after the battle in Cherbourg, France, in 1944. Battle in the pouring rain. Dutch people pray for the victims killed by Nazi Germany. People return to the city liberated by the Allies. The bodies of German soldiers still lie in the streets. Nets of fire filled the sky during the night battle. A wounded American soldier receives first aid from his comrades. Motorcycles are used as cannon fodder. Pictured is the Nanjing Massacre in December 1937, where Japanese soldiers practiced bayoneting Chinese prisoners in killing holes. World War II reveals the brutal, concrete stories of the Great War, based on what we call documents, and also on the eyewitness accounts the author had access to. Pictured is the USS Shaw, exploding during the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. A nurse diligently bandages a wounded Soviet soldier. Hamburg after the fiery air raids in late July 1943. Medical services during the bombing of Berlin. German wounded in Berlin, May 2, 1945. World War II is a brutal and honest account of war. It is also a most urgent plea for peace. Photo of homeless people in Okinawa. German 4-layer 80-centimeter caliber Schwerer Gustav supergun. Soviet T-34 tank in World War II. Zinaida Portnova, 17 years old, was a Belarusian guerrilla scout and member of the secret organization Young Avengers. Arrested and tortured by the Gestapo, during an interrogation, she grabbed a gun and shot dead an officer and 2 assistants, but could not escape. On January 10, 1944, after a month of torture, she was executed. In 1958, Zinaida was posthumously awarded the title Hero of the Soviet Union. 14-year-old Peter Klepa was raised in the 6th Infantry Division's music platoon at the Brest Fortress when Germany invaded. He quickly joined the fighting, serving as a liaison, scout, supplying water and medicine, and even discovering ammunition depots to help the defenders hold out. In July 1941, Peter and a number of soldiers escaped the siege, but were taken prisoner and sent to Germany to work. He was not released until 1945. Battle of Monte Cassino. The Battle of Monte Cassino was fought between the Allies and the German-Italian forces in the first half of 1944. The battle consisted of 4 smaller battles fought in January, February, March, and May. The Allies eventually captured Rome, Italy, but at a very high cost. The combatants suffered more than 125,000 casualties. A decisive victory for the Red Army on the Eastern Front, the Battle of Kursk saw the largest tank battle of the entire war. According to Soviet figures, the Nazis suffered up to 500,000 casualties. The Soviet army continued to advance, liberating most of Ukraine by mid-1943. Second Battle of Kharkov. Kharkov is a strategically important city in Ukraine. It saw fierce fighting in the fall of 1941, when the Germans captured the city. A year later, the Soviet Red Army launched a major offensive to retake the city. Unfortunately for the Red Army, the Nazi forces there were still very strong, and they were capable of organizing a fierce defense and counterattack. Although the war is long gone, its echoes still reverberate in every photo, every story, every scar of humanity. Each like, each subscription of yours is not only a show of support, but also a reminder that we will preserve that memory, so that the painful past will never be repeated.